Wolfpack, Wolfpack.
Try and build an island, tell me why you think we wildin'.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host with the most, the best from the Midwest, the overweight lady lover, your not so local super villain. Ladies want him, men want to be him, your global icon and national treasure, Starks, aka Hollywood Starks Hogan, aka Big Chowder, aka Chase Manhattan, aka Go Grab the Bill, aka Wave Cap Warrior, aka Chase Money, aka Did the PayPal clear yet? And I welcome you to another edition of the Fake Wolfpack Podcast Predictions and Suggestions Show. And you already know, that's the #1 wrestling podcast. You ain't got to go check the numbers. We already did that shit. So, I got some good news and I got some bad news. I've been hit with a whole multitude of everything in the world just coming at me at 1,000 miles an hour. And you know what? Your local supervillain, your global supervillain can handle everything that's being thrown at him. So we're going to give you 2 special episodes this week. So this is going to be a special episode because it's going to be our WrestleMania and NXT takeover New York predictions and suggestions show. So let's go ahead and jump into the black and yellow brand. And you already know that's my favorite one. So let's talk about NXT takeover New York. So guaranteed we have Walter versus Pete Dunne, Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair versus Io Shirai versus Kairi Sane, and Matt Riddle versus Velveteen Dream, Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, and the War Raiders versus whoever wins the Dusty Classic. I've been seeing rumors floating around that it's going to be Aleister Black and Ricochet. I would love for it to be the Forgotten Sons. So let's go ahead and talk the guaranteed things that we concrete know. So Walter versus Pete Dunne, I predict and I suggest that Pete Dunne loses this match and you get Pete Dunne on the main card. You can finally use him to do more. But to be honest with you, him being over in NXT UK with Walter would do wonders for that brand. So it's kind of a toss-up. But I feel that Walter is great enough that he can carry that on and do what Pete Dunne was doing and can more. Just continue to do more. You think if Big Badass Walter shows up on SmackDown with his fucking NXT UK belt and just runs through AJ Styles or runs through fucking Rowan or somebody else to help push the NXT UK brand? These things aren't being done, and frankly that there's only one NXT UK branded match on takeover so far that is guaranteed is appalling. I don't know what Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley is doing in their feud. I feel like that would be a great match to come into there. But nonetheless, before we start talking hypotheticals and what else we want to see, I suggest that Pete Dunne drops that belt to Walter. Next, we got Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai versus Bianca Belair versus Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane needs to go to the main card. She needs to be drafted. It was frankly awkward seeing her in this last setup. What happened to Mia Yim? Mia Yim should have been that last person to run out and do things. Hell, this should have been a fatal 5-way. Why not? This would have added more to it. Nonetheless, I would love to see some more shaking up of that division. But Shayna Baszler is like the best heel out. And she controls the division. She runs it. She puts people over. She knows how to do great on the mic. Fuck. She'll even come in and commentate and smoke. You know what I'm saying? That. So she is a necessary evil. And I don't dislike her. Hell, man. I'd fucking, if I had I'd support her. I'd get merch. I'd do everything that I could because I like her as a heel. I like her as a wrestler, man. She is, I read an interesting post from Black Alliance Wrestling, I believe, that Shayna Baszler is everything Ronda Rousey would like to be. And I was like, yo, man, that's so fucking on point. She's just better. and she's been here longer, and it shows. So hey, rewards is given to the most deserving. So I personally, out of that match, I would love for Shayna to retain it and still keep building feuds and things like that. I don't think Bianca is necessarily ready for it. And not to saying that she couldn't hold it for a second to help get her over, but there's no real definitiveness with her character. And I don't think that every character needs it, but I think it is needed for this division. Like, it's just too many people. It's just her. Yeah, it's really just her, and she doesn't have a necessary place within these rivalries. Like, is she heel? Is she good? Is she on Shayna's side? Is she, just trying to see the division do the best, or is she just looking out for herself? All these things are just really up in the air, and it just leaves this storyline to, wherever. Regardless, I'm really excited for that match because I know that's just going to be fucking phenomenal. I don't know how it's going to end, and my suggestion once again is Shayna holding the title and still getting that the women division over with those single belts. I would love, and I said the same thing about Walter, I would love to see Shayna take this shit up to motherfucking Monday Night Raw and did what Ronda did to Dana Brooke. If she did something sort of the facts, maybe she did that shit to Mickie James, or, you know what I'm saying, Alicia Fox or Nikki Cross, somebody else, you know what I mean, to help steam and get over the division. Next on the card, we have Adam Cole versus, no, I'm sorry, guaranteed, we have Matt Riddle versus Velveteen Dream. I love this feud. This is going to be Velveteen Dream's first title defense as the North American champion, and boy, oh boy, do I not want to see him drop that. But I want to see this be a long-lasting feud, at least 3 or 4 matches. Matt Riddle has not lost a match to my understanding. No, I think he lost one to Cassius Ohno. But nonetheless, he's been on a hot winning streak and been just doing so much. I would like to see him lose against Velveteen Dream and draw this out. I think those two are the Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano that we need in filling those voids for that good single rivalry, that Aleister Black and Andrade Cien Almas, that feud. Man, I just missed that. I wish that they would take that more and just bring that shit back, man. Yo, I'm very, very happy with what Velveteen Dream has been doing on the internet. He's really turned it up and gotten more into it, and I love what Matt Riddle has been doing. So seeing that mixture and everything getting into it, I just want more mic work. I want more things, more theatrics for this build and setup and shit. I think it deserves a couple more weeks with it. I predict and suggest that Velveteen Dream walks away with this belt. So let's get into some hypotheticals. We've got all that cool shit out the way. I would love to see Keith Lee versus Dijak. Dijakovic. I'm sorry. I would love to see that at NXT Takeover. I'm sorry. So there is, I think those two are the next guys to be in the heavyweight division. You hear me say that fucking a trillion times if you watch the show, and thank you to the loyal Wolf Pact. Nonetheless, I would love to see those dudes really, really go in and just really bring this division back to the heavyweights and just, really, really shake it up. And both of them, they've got the potential to be either great heels, great faces, whatever. Just the potential to be great. So give them the opportunity. It's just putting those people in that division. I've heard that there's going to be a fatal 5-way or something like that to define the number 1 contender for the NXT championship or whatever, because Tommaso Ciampa is hurt. I would love for those two to be put into that match and still go off and do their own thing. I don't even want them to win that match. I want them to be put into it so that you can develop a feud with Keith Lee and Adam Cole over time, or these guys, and just develop more. Make it a bigger. I suggest a tournament. I've said this a second ago that I was supposed to say on this video that since Tommaso Ciampa is hurt, that they should have done a tournament. to define, and like how they were doing the Dusty Classic, to find someone else or whatever have you. They could have done several battle royales or several fatal four ways, triple threats or whatever to get down to what I'm saying, the number one contender. I think nonetheless what they're doing, putting the belt on Adam Cole is it's definitely a plus up, and I think that's what's going to happen at NXT Takeover. Regardless, I heard that the man on the top of the hill is Johnny Gargano, and it's going to be whoever wins this Fatal 5-Way or whatever it is going to face Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship. I've already seen spoilers that it's Adam Cole. I hope Adam Cole will. I feel that, and I suggest that Adam Cole is going to walk away with this belt. That's going to do ultimately great for the division and help shake things up. I'm thinking that's going to be a 5-star match. That's going to really, really kick off the whole NXT pay-per-view wave. I'm not sure if NXT has had a pay-per. No, they had one for Phoenix. But I feel like that's going to be another step into it or whatever like that, and really, really turn it up. I predict and suggest that the War Raiders should face the Forgotten Sons. I think that would be a good feud. I don't expect and this is going to be, I think, the War Raiders' second title defense. No, I think it's the first because they won at Phoenix. Nonetheless, I would love for War Raiders to get into a feud with the Forgotten Sons. After watching, the matches and stuff like that and the Dusty Classic, man, the Forgotten Sons, they need the War Raiders to have this feud with. I don't understand why the Forgotten Sons are having a feud with the Undisputed Era or I don't know, just anybody. And they went and they did these things, and we didn't even get gratifying matches from the Street Profits or anything like that from their whole feud. But nonetheless, I think that would be a good feud for them and a good thing for the tag division because the War Raiders are never around. They are turning into Brock Lesnar. Regardless, that is my favorite tag team in the WWE right now. Hands down. So I would love for them to get more action and get more active out here. So that is my predictions and suggestions for NXT TakeOver New York. So let's talk about the grandest show of them all, WrestleMania. Or some like to call it Starksmania, because, it's the best time of year. We've got a few guaranteed matches and a few suggestions for you. So guaranteed on the WrestleMania card so far is Shane versus The Miz, Triple H versus Batista, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, RKO versus AJ Styles, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title. Right now, those are the guaranteed matches. We've got nothing for Finn, nothing for the U.S. belt, nothing for either one of the tag team belts, and no guaranteed match for the WWE Championship. But Daniel Bryan is going to face someone. So let's go ahead and we'll talk about the elephant in the room with Daniel Bryan. I suggest Kofi Mania, and I suggest letting Kofi win it. Then doing something crazy for the next following SmackDown. And just making Kofi's run just that much more crazy. So if they're going to keep doing the keep the black man down bit, then allow that to be the thing and allow him to rise to the occasion and, just keep making McMahon the ultimate heel in this, and just, I like that. But that's my prediction and suggestion, to go ahead and have Kofi Mania, Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. I suggest that. We got the Shane versus Miz. I suggest and predict Miz to win this match. This has actually been a good heel build-up for Shane McMahon. This is actually like years and years and years and years and years in the making. If you go back to the last year's WrestleMania. I believe it was Shane versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And it was just basically this whole storyline about how Shane's like a bad person, da da da. Like nobody want to believe him. And it's like, oh shit, you go back and look at hindsight, man, were those dudes right? Um, we got RKO versus AJ Styles. I am not mad at the 3 matches with no belts because they're all just really good matches. So I do want to see these. The Miz has been like, it's not even like a recent. He just always performs very well. Um, Really good work from him. So I really want the Miz to win that. The Miz to win that match. Um, Excuse me. I like what they're doing at getting Miz over as a face. So I would love for that to go on and maybe have Miz facing Samoa Joe, or Miz going to face Finn Balor as a face, or just doing different things. I want to see more fucking change. That is my biggest thing. So let's go ahead and next to the next guaranteed match, Triple H versus Batista. I predict that Batista wins. I think Triple H has been like kind of undefeated in fucking the last anything, just like for the last couple of years. For last year, so I don't think he's lost too many matches except for that Ronda match at the last WrestleMania. I'm really not super invested into it. I think it's going to be a sweet match. I like their build. I like everything going on there. The time period for this whole Batista evolution Triple H thing, I stopped watching wrestling. I was getting pussy at that point in time, so that shit left the door. So nonetheless, I expect Batista to win. I'm excited for this match. I think it's going to be cool. Triple H always comes out in some really cool grand attire and a really nice entrance for WrestleMania, so I'm excited to see that. Next on the list is RKO versus AJ Styles. Once again, no belt, and I'm not mad at it. I think this is going to be a 5-star match. We don't need a belt, and these two great wrestlers are going to show you that you don't need a belt to make good storylines. And then granted how this is just being forced upon us, but good business here. I predict that AJ Styles wins. And I would like to see him shake up and move some and do something else on SmackDown within the time. Next guaranteed match is Seth versus Brock. We need Seth to win. I don't even predict Seth winning, but we need him to win. With Roman coming back, that kind of shakes things up and changes the landscape. So I would love for him to win and love for it to be something else. But I don't think that that's going to happen. My suggestion is to take the belt off Brock, make it more of a lively thing, more of an active thing. If you look at it, there's a lot of inactive belts and a lot of things that are going on that are just like not in position and not being worked. So I would love for that to be removed from Brock and still become more of a figure and a mainstay on Raw. And Becky versus Charlotte versus Ronda. I expect Becky to win. And I predict Ronda to go all the way off fucking script, ruin it, and just leave with this belt. So the shit's gotta get vacated and she fucks up shit for like billions of people. I kind of expect that to happen. That's my whole prediction. But I would like for Becky to win. This has been a long drawn out thing, and I kind of, to be honest with you, for a person who watched the whole start, begin, and push, I could give a fuck less about the man right now. She's just not active. She's not doing enough for me at this point in time. She got hurt. She got injured, and we're just drawing and shit out. So once she wins, she better be tearing through that fucking division. You just better start turning up. Y'all motherfuckers better start a women's wrestling. Like, you know what I'm saying? There needs to be like 45 guaranteed minutes out of every show just for women wrestling once Becky wins this fucking title. Because that division, the whole women division needs to turn up. That's just me talking shit. So let's get into some suggestion matches. Like we said, we don't have anything for Finn. So I would like to see a match between Finn and EC3 or Finn and Leo. I think that would be a better fit. Finn versus Ricochet. Or getting all 4 of those guys in a match for the Intercontinental title. I would like to see Ricochet and Aleister Black moved out of every tag team picture imaginable. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. I love them as wrestlers. I love them as performers. They just don't feel like a team to me. That goes the same for Beth Phoenix and Natalya. That goes the same for Nia Jax and Tamina. It just doesn't feel like a team. So you can just stop with the hodgepodge forcing and trying to make things happen. Next suggestion is Sonya Deville versus Asuka. I think Sonya is a better fit. Or a wild fatal 5-way. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy where Asuka's got to do some wild shit to win a match. And we're talking like you put Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Nikki Cross, fucking Alicia Fox or Nia Jax or Tamina. But I know they're putting them in the tag team picture. But we'll say, okay, if we don't got them, then you still got Carmella, who's not doing shit. You got Zelina Vega. Nonetheless, you can put 5 women in that ring with Asuka and you put on a great match. I think that would be a solid fix and a solid good match for the representation of how good Asuka is compared to everyone. That's really not getting shown. And with the storylines that they have going on for the belt, it's really not doing a suffice job. Regardless, I liked what was happening. I like what is going on with Asuka and Sonya. I think, like I said, it's a better fit. I think with the Nikki Cross thing, that'd be a good move. More suggestions. Let's say if we get Samoa Joe with versus Ray. I think they're starting to have the build for that. And I think Joe versus Owens. Joe versus Kevin Owens. I think that'd be a good match for WrestleMania as well. And the Usos are... I'm sorry, Heavy Machinery isn't in any of the tag team pictures. You got 3 weeks out. I would love for them to either face the Usos or the Revival and for them to get at least a solid opportunity. I don't expect them to walk away and win, but I would love to see them actually get into the picture and do and shake up some things. I suggest getting Lacey Evans finally evolve or not putting her on fucking TV. That's just me. So that has been my WrestleMania predictions and suggestions. Once again, I'm your lovable, and huggable villain, the Mighty Starks. Go ahead and follow me on all your social medias. And please, I urge you to please stay true and remember, keep killing shit.
Wolfpack! Try and build an island, tell me why you think we wildin'.